to Cross Stitch the Globe. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Allison.
This is a channel about cross stitch, and today is one of our favorite days of the year. At least mine.
I know, you're so excited that I'm getting so excited.
It's our Mirabilia Wip parade because November is Nora November, which we'll talk about what that means in a minute. And so to get excited and ready for Nora November, we're going to show you our Mira Wip.
The whip.
And our Mira Whips. And then talk about our plans for what progress we're going to make or which ones we're going to finish, what progress we're going to make on the other ones. I'm going to talk about the two that I'm going to start, and I'm going to hopefully tempt you to start one.
Really?
I don't think so, but
okay.
And by that I mean afterwards, I'm going to do what I've never done before, and I'm going to show Allison and you guys every single Mirabilia pattern that I own and do a Mira stash dive at the end. So if you like whip parades but you don't love like stash dives, you'll know when we're transitioning into more of a stash. These are not planned starts or anything. They're just like for one day.
I'm very excited about this now.
But Allison doesn't know what's in my, she doesn't know the full.
Because I'm loving my Mira Whip and I'm like looking for my next one. So I've been texting Stephanie at like 2 a.m. like,
do you have this?
Do you have this one already? No.
Yeah, so I'm going to show Allison what the world is. And then I'm going to show the one where I need your guys' help, because I have one pattern that I think might be counterfeit. And do you remember in our eBay I'll show you when we get to the end. Okay. Remember in our eBay tips video, I said I had like 30 great cross stitch purchases from eBay experiences, and I had one bad one.
Yeah. This
is the one bad one where the pattern got to me and I'm like, I don't know if this is legit or not. My heart says no, but I want you guys who, I know some people who watch this love mirrors and stitch a ton of mirrors and might have an idea of, no, that actually was a legit one sold like that. And if not, if everyone's like, no, it's counterfeit, I will not stitch it.
Was it because it came in a kit? She did do kit.
But I don't think they look like this.
Oh, so I don't know what they look like.
Also, that's going to be the last one we talk about.
All right.
So if you're intrigued, we have 3 kinds of videos on our channel. This is a Flosstube Extra, where we take a topic that we don't have time for in our normal videos and we do a really deep dive. They're super fun. As you can tell, I'm very excited.
She's so excited. I love it.
Those come out every other Monday. In between on our regular Flosstube episodes, if you found us from a different type of video and you're like, Flosstube.
Crazy.
Flosstube.
If you think this is interesting, this is like a one bite of what happened.
Flosstube is where cross stitchers and these have existed for over a decade. We are in year 2, so we are not the people that invented it. Flosstubes are where you show all of your personal stitching. So you show what you worked on, what you're starting, what you finished, what you bought.
And to someone who just found cross stitching, none of that made sense.
Yeah. So just come along for the ride. We also mention a lot of other channels that we love that you can check out too, and like and talk about like what they're working on. There's lots of different styles of Flosstubes. Some people are loud, fun duos. Some people are like very like quiet and very serene, and the kind of person you could put on when your son or daughter is taking a nap, and you can like kind of zen out. There's lots of different types of Flosstubes. They're super fun, so we hope you will subscribe. And
there's one for every vibe.
Yes, there's 50 for every vibe. There's actually quite a few.
There are quite a few, yeah.
And then on Thursdays, our third type of video is a Flosstube University, where we are doing a series on like how to cross stitch for new stitchers, where we're really trying to cover like A to Z of cross stitch in very small bites. So the one that is going to come out this week is what is the world of cross stitching accessories beyond craft store hoops, things for holding your fabric. So we talked about like nerd hoops and scroll frames and all kinds of all the things we could think of that people use to hold their fabric that's not a craft store hoop. We also, for things we don't do, we listed a bunch of channels to check out for those types of stitchers. So if you're a newer stitcher, subscribe to get those in your feed. And if you're not a new stitcher and you watch those videos for fun, if you're just like, what are they talking about? How did they talk about hoops for 25 minutes?
Yeah.
Then if you have any of your own tips, leave them in the comments.
Yeah.
All right. So the way
I am so excited.
I'm so excited. Okay.
Let's do this.
So I don't have like a ton of notes because I just like,
you're just gonna
yeah.
gush. We're just gonna gush about So, Nora, this is for the next hour-ish.
Okay, so what is Nora November? If you're clicking on this and you're like, well, what is that? Nora, I almost said Nora Ingram, and I don't know. Her name is Laura Ingram, and I don't watch her, obviously. Nora Corbett, thank you, is the designer, is a cross-stitch designer. She has two companies. She has two lines. Two lines, and they're distributed by Witchelt. And one of them are called Mirabilia, and they're like really big, typically. Some of them are smaller, but they're typically big. And I'll show in the charts, there's fancy ladies and mermaids and holidays and old school stuff. There's lots of different styles. Yeah. There's almost 200 of those. Then she has another line called Nora Corbett, which tend to be smaller, but are not always smaller. And I think there's like 400 of those. Oh my gosh. And then there are, within all of those, there are like series of them. So like seasonal queens or like letters from Nora, letters from mermaids. There's a lot. So we're not going to show even 1/10 of her patterns today, but we are going to show a lot of patterns. She has been designing since the 90s. A lot of her earlier stuff is out of print. So a lot of the ones we will show are things that are out of print that you can get on the secondary market. Some of them did make our most expensive cross-stitch patterns video that we put out in the Q1 sometime. Yeah. But we're going to put out an update to that in January when we see what the 2024 prices rolled in as.
I know, but to be prepared, because I think with inflation, things probably went quite a bit up. Although, so you might prepare yourself. Go watch that last video.
You never know.
More and more people are stitching.
That's true.
The demand is going up.
That's true. So if you, also that's kind of nice to know, because if you see one of those in a store, snag it. Do it. Like if you see it for a good price, snag it, like at a thrift store. So that's who Nora Corbett is and her lines. There are other ways to get her patterns. Some of her patterns are in Hirschner's magazine that you can actually download as digital downloads. Not many, but a few. There's a couple that appeared in magazines. She has a Patreon where she's released a few that you can get directly from her Patreon store, like a big dragon that Fiber Arts Amy was stitching. I think she finished it like this. It was her Patreon dragon for a while, but now you can just buy it, and it's really. And I think Katie from Red Stitchery is also stitching. Just started once it was available, went and bought it. And
I've seen her stitching a fancy dragon, but I didn't know
that would be the Nora Corbett Patreon dragon. So there's different ways that you can get their patterns, but most of them come in like an envelope that I'll show you guys. That's who Nora Corbett is and her patterns, and kind of a tiny bit about where they can be distributed. There's a retreat happening next year, the Queen City Stitch Retreat. It is actually happening like this weekend that we're filming. Last year was a Nora Corbett retreat, and it's going to be a Nora Corbett retreat again next year. It will be lottery to get in. So if you are like, oh, that sounds cool, go follow Maggie from Kitschy Whips and Fiber Arts Amy on Instagram. I will link to both of their Flosstube channels below too, because they both do have Flosstubes, and they run that retreat. I have dreams of going to the Nora Corbett retreat next year. I'm going to put my name in, but like, we don't know. Yeah. We don't know what's going to happen with life, but we'll see where I am. But like, my goal right now is to put my name in for that. So if you are like, oh, I've never heard of Mirabilia before, but now I want to stitch all of them.
Which might happen. Warning.
Warning. Yeah.
With a little warning.
You may get obsessed
you
with
You might be addicted.
There's lots of Facebook groups. Some people stitch them really tiny, and they're like called mini mirrors, and they put them on like 40 count fabric. They're very cute. I thought I wanted to try that, and I decided I actually do not, and I sold the fabric that I bought to do it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I was like, get it out of my life.
Nope.
Because I decided I don't actually like tiny stitching right now. And where I'm at in my life, I'm not my life's too chaotic for tiny stitching. But people make them really small. Like, people do all kinds of cool stuff with them. There's lots of good Facebooks on them. There's Facebooks for conversions, Facebook for doing them tiny, Facebooks for buying and selling them, Facebook just for learning about them and like showing your progress. So Facebook's a great place to do research on Mirabilia.
It's a great place to fangirl. Or
yeah. Okay, so then what is Nora November? Well, Mirabilia Mira May, which we also put out a video for and participated in, happens in May, and that kind of like grew out of the ether of like people doing mania and like different things. But Nora November specifically was started by Lisa from Cross by Floss, whose channel we love. She has a new puppy called Fairy Flora.
Oh,
I think she said she didn't name her after the whip, but
okay.
That's like a really great coincidence.
That's
she
fun.
So she hasn't put out a video in a few months because she's been taking care, like her puppies are not allowing her to stitch very much. But she created Nora November, and historically what she has done is do vlog style every week, pick a new Nora pattern. And I think she specifically does the Nora Corbett line, and shows her progress every day for a week and then publishes those. But so she started it, and she likes other people to participate in it. From my understanding from watching her videos and chatting with her a tiny bit about it is like she started Nora November, but Nora November is not just for the Nora Corbett line of Mirabilias, although it can be. You can choose to do only that. Mm-hmm. But like I only have one Nora Corbett whip and I have one Nora Corbett pattern and stash. I'm actually like unfortunately drawn far more to the bigger patterns.
They're gorgeous.
So I don't have a ton of like Nora Corbett's in stash to pull from to do like a month of Nora's or anything like that. So I'm gonna do Mirabilias. But if you wanted to be like, oh well, I have all these like Nora's.
You prefer
stash,
to be a purist, I guess.
Then you could do that.
Yeah.
And then Allison might take it even one step further.
Oh yeah.
Which we'll talk about in plans.
Yeah.
All right. So that's kind of setting the scene. All right. So the first thing we're gonna talk about okay. So we're gonna start the whip parade, but Allison only has one, and I have 10. So
I'm gonna go first or last.
So for every one Allison shows, I have to show 10. And as part of the plans, so we're just going to share our plans as we go. So for each piece, we'll talk about our plans for that piece in November, and then we'll talk about our planned, if we have any planned starts at the end of the whip. So Allison's going to show her one, and then I'll show my 10.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So.
Now, Allison actually started this in Mirror May this year.
I did. I started in May 1st for Mirror May.
It's her first Mirabilia.
First one. And it is called Lady of the Flag. And she is being stitched on Ada. I'm an Ada stitcher.
So if you're an Ada stitcher and you're like, oh, I can never do Mirror because it has some specialty stitches,
Ada.
Allison's done every kind of stitch you can do on Ada.
Ada it's where it's at. Like, it looks just as beautiful as linen. I don't understand the stigma. It needs to go away. Because this is gorgeous. So this is called Prehistoric by Forbidden Fiber Co. I love it. I think it's so pretty. I love the modeling. It's all DMC. And then the sparkly bits aren't really showing on camera, but it is full of Krynic down here and some throughout the pole.
And she has totally started on the beading,
and
it looks so
beading.
good.
I have beading and backstitch, and then she's done. And I am beading her on a scroll, or not a scroll, on a stretcher bars because I didn't have a scroll frame, and this was my cheap version.
And it's working.
And it's working. It works just fine.
And the cost is like $8 for this stretcher frame or stretcher bars as opposed to like
20 plus.
Yeah. Now, if you don't know Lady of the Flag, she is out of print. She was a pattern that was created by Nora. This is like, I don't know the full story, so I'm not going to editorialize what her story was, but it came out after 9/11. And she is out of print. She is very popular, and she was, at least as of last year, on the list of the most expensive cross-stitch patterns.
She also, people have done conversions and turned her green or blue.
I think when I stitch her, I will stitch her. Actually, I don't know, because I'll do what I want to do now. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You do what you want to do.
I'm not going to start her next year, though.
No, you do what you want to do. But this says Liberty, but as soon as I'm done, I'm terrified to backstitch her. I'm not going to lie.
Really?
I am so terrified.
More than the beads? Look how many
More
beads.
than the beads. The beads, I've done probably...
It's like, look how many beads.
I've probably done 300 beads.
The beads are amazing.
Maybe more.
Allison made the needle minder to go with her. She looks so good.
Thank you. She's a lot of fun. So I started her May 1st for Mirror May, and my goal is to finish her November 5th for the election in Nora November.
In Nora November. Allison was like, well, I'll probably be done with her before November. I was like, no.
It turns out I do between 65 and 100 beads a day.
Oh, God.
And that'll get me done
Yeah.
about November 5th.
But I told her, I was like, can you just like leave the last 10 beads to November so that we can do this whole video and I don't have to look crazy and you have nothing?
I have one.
Okay, so somebody said in the last video in the comments they really kind of liked her just sitting here as like the third person. So we'll just put her right there.
This is our buddy.
All right, so Allison is she's not a true monogamous stitcher, but she was in the past, and we did a video on like monogamous versus multi-project stitcher.
And it sent me into an existential crisis.
And it inspired her to work basically as monogamously as she could handle. Yeah. So this is a testament to what happens if you don't have 10 whips and you put all those stitches on the same one. And it's so good.
No, thank you.
How many stitches is she?
She is about 3,700 according to markup.
1,000.
Yeah.
37,000.
According to markup, which is a scanned copy. So, and I don't think it's correct. Because my markup still says I'm only at like 88% or something, which cannot possibly be true.
Does it have any of the ones that, sorry, I gotta get my pile of patterns out. Does it have any of the, this is the pattern. So we, a stitchy friend, Lilani, who watches the show, found this at a church like sale along with a few others, and we talked about it in another video, and sold it to us for what she paid for, but what she paid for was so under market value, and I told her that. And
we were honest.
like, I'm not trying to like, and so the fact that like we bought her and you actually like have almost finished her I'm so happy about that, because I have not almost finished the pattern that I got from that, but I did start one.
Yeah.
But I will also stitch Lady of the Flag at some point. She'll go back into my stash for a little while.
That's pretty close.
You got her. You nailed it.
I did it?
Yeah.
Pretty close.
All right.
Can't wait till it actually says Liberty though. But again, I'm terrified.
I think the backstitch, are you going to do it two-stranded or one-stranded? What does it say to do?
I don't remember. I'll have to read the instructions again. I don't remember. I'm really afraid it's going to look like a kindergartner did this.
I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
So this is the stack of patterns I have of my whips, Allison's whip, my plan starts, and nothing else. And I have a whole other stack of patterns to show in Stash Drive.
Yay.
Okay, so are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So I'm going to start with the first one is going to be a finish this November. I have, according to markup, I have 5,000 stitches left. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't think the markup
it's counting beads, and it's also counting a lot of places where it is. I could erase it. Like, it's counting a lot of places that are not stitched, but it's not counting everything. So I don't know. But it says I have 5,000. I'm kind of cool with that because there was a lot of backstitch in the lady. The one I'm going to finish is Moon Glow. This is my only true Nora Corbett. This is also the first. I don't remember if it's the first.
I think it was the first.
It's the only I started this with Elizabeth from Savory Sewing and Allie from Allie's is Crafty. And Allie doesn't have a ton of videos, but she one of the videos she does have on her channel is a really good Mirabilia Whip Parade and Stash Dive from last year. You should check out if you like this and you can't get enough.
I love that pattern.
You can do a stitch when I'm done.
Maybe. Jacinta stitching on the planes is doing it too.
I know.
It's beautiful. I love it. Beautiful.
So my plan, so here's where I am. So it says I have 5,000 stitches left, so I should be able to finish it in November because I know I have less than that, but backstitching her is going to be the backstitch.
It makes the,
the whole lady is backstitch. So that's going to, and the tattoos are all backstitch. So that's going to be its whole thing on its own. And then there's not a ton of beads, and I do have the beads for her. So I can bead her when I'm done. So my goal for November is to finish. She doesn't have that many beads.
Are the beads in the moon?
Okay, she has more beads than I thought. The moon is beaded. The moon is entirely beaded. Okay, so she has a bigger bead pack than I thought. Well, my original goal was to get the X's done in November, and I might still do that because I want to keep stitching and stitching. So I do want to start beading her in November, but she's not going to be full. She's going to be finished in November, but she's going to be done with her X's, and I'll start the beading.
Okay.
But yeah, her bead pack is like slightly bigger than I thought.
That's a lot.
She is stitched with DMC, a mix of DMC and Karen water lilies, which are a variegated silk. Look at that one. But these went really fast. The rug is going slow, but I have half the rug left. Then this will be a zip, zip, zip. These are pretty easy. I decided to take all of the individual confetti white stitches, and I'm gonna do beads for them instead because I did not like the way that my confetti was looking. I felt like I could see I didn't want to start and stop and do a pen stitch for everyone, and you could totally see it through. So that's fine.
This is definitely see-through.
So I'm going to do those as beads and maybe eliminate some of them if I feel like they're a little too much. But the goal for her for November, finish her X's, get a couple beads on at least.
And what she stitched on? She
is stitched on 28 count Paranormal, which was a fabric of the month by Bestitch Me, but she does sell that fabric now.
It's gorgeous.
And she will be a 2024 finish. Her beading will probably go into December, but she is getting finished this year.
Great.
And I just love her.
It's beautiful.
And also we forgot to show you her project bag, but she lives in this Jasmine custom bag, Moon and Ouija bag.
So this is my Jasmine custom bags made by Jen. It's one I asked her to specifically make for this stitch. So it's the Declaration of Independence. Sorry. And I love it so much that I'm planning on turning it into more of a messenger bag. And so it will go with me.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the next Mirabilia that I'm planning on finishing. She doesn't have that many beads, and I did get her bead pack in when I did my last order from 123 Stitch. But I have 15,000 stitches left. That includes the beads, and it's probably an over count. And she does not have it really very much backstitch at all. But this is Touching the Autumn Sky.
She's so pretty.
But I want to get her finished. I would like to have all of her X's done by the end of autumn, like the official end of autumn, which is December. So she's going to get worked on every single day of November. So she's going to get touched a ton. And she has October goals too. Like I'm going to move stitching on her tonight. Like, so she needs to get 3,000 stitches in October, which would mean in November, she'd only have 12,000 left. So I'm going to try to get as much of that done as possible. But my real goal is to have her done at the end of fall. It's Touching the Autumn Sky. Because a stitchy friend lent me this pattern. This is also an out of print, very expensive pattern. Mm-hmm. And a stitchy friend was so kind to lend this to me, and she did not give me a deadline, but I do just want to get it back to her. So I have her bead pack.
And don't you want this on your wall?
I do.
Oh my God, it's so pretty.
I do. Her DMCs are gorgeous. Some of them are still loose in the bag, but the ones that are on the hooks are gorgeous. And she only has one kind of bead. And I bought 2 packs, but the thing didn't say to even buy 2 packs. So I don't even know if I really needed 2 packs. I just was like, oh my God, what if they spill? I really want to get her done this year.
And I have spilled quite a bit. I'm having that fear as well.
And also, I think I'll be the kind of person where I will like using leftover beads on things more than I would want to buy beads to put on something. She lives in this Kathy's Posies Autumn Colors bag, which I love. And I don't have a lot of, like, I normally show what I'm stitching people with, but the ones I haven't worked on since our mid-year whip parade, I took their hoops and I put them in my, like, for my vintage hoop parade. Yeah, so, but I am stitching her with this vintage spring top Gibbsco hoop, and I have been working on her because she wasn't in our last whip parade. No. But she's so pretty.
She's so pretty.
There's more stitching left. Like, how much stitching is left is kind of deceptive because to me it's like, well, she's basically done, but she's not.
No, that's kind of how I felt with, like, the flag and the top of her was done.
I have 2,500 stitches done, and she needs another 15,000. Yeah. She's not almost done, but she will get finished this year. This is like my next major goal for this year after. because I had another goal of doing my kids' stockings this year, and I decided I'm not going to do that this year. There's life has been lifing, and I really don't want to stitch this part of my life into my children's Christmas stockings. Yeah. So they're going to debut next year, which means I have room on my plate to make sure she gets done, which I'm very excited about. Yay! And she's just gorgeous.
She is beautiful. Oh,
okay.
And Justin Marie does stuff.
Justin Marie does stuff. No, she's working on her now, but she's not finished.
I thought she was done.
No, Memphis Sarah E finished her.
Oh, okay.
Lori Pam from Stitching in the Land of Good Enough finished her this year. And I think Jessie Marie does stuff is, I don't know about her.
I think she has it.
Jessie Marie does stuff is trying to get her a lot of work on her now.
Okay.
I think.
I thought she had finished, but that's okay. Maybe it was just
she hasn't converted her hair and skin, so I know she hasn't finished yet. Because a lot of people, and I'm going to do this too, will be reminded of their children by this pattern because it's one of the only ones that Nora has. I do have a lot of Nora's children patterns and stuff, but and I'm going to do a hair and skin conversion, so she is my daughter's coloring. Like, she won't look exactly like her, but I want her to be my daughter's coloring. All right, and those are my two big, you're gonna get done this year. Nora November is your time to shine projects. Mm-hmm. The rest of my whips are gonna get 750 to 1,000 stitches each. Oh. Because I took everything off my plate. I was like, you know what? Life is lifing. I'm mad at everything. I'm only gonna stitch Mirabilia in November. It's all I want to do. Nora's in November. I'm doing nothing else. And I have two exceptions. One, my chatelaine, I'm going to keep putting 200 stitches in it every Wednesday because the goal is just to not let it intimidate me, and I have to make small but steady progress. And then my Stitch for Pride by these 20 stitches, because when that December release comes out, I want to be on the home stretch of getting it done, so I need to keep up doing 2 motifs a month. Mm-hmm. So those two will be like my Mira breaks, but other than that, everything's Mira. Now I have it's my goal.
It's like a dream for you. It's gonna be so fun.
And I did a lot in May, and then I worked on touching on Sky over the summer, but I haven't touched a lot of these since May, so putting 1,000 stitches in them will feel really good, especially the ones that only have 500 stitches in them. So I'm just going to go through them. So every other whip that I show is going to get 750 to 1,000 stitches, depending on time. If I get towards the end and something only gets 500 stitches, that'll be okay. All right. So this is my whip that I got from Leilani in the stack of patterns Leilani sent us.
Which one?
This is Adia and the Garden Fairy.
Oh, right. Okay.
And she looks like this. She's also out of print. When you get a pattern that's out of print, you tend to start it, which I think encourages you to show it and then encourages other people to want to stitch it, and it helps, unfortunately, keep the price up. However, she's not the most expensive. She runs, I've seen her anywhere from 25 to 50. So this is not and considering how much time and effort you'll spend stitching on her, per hour, if this is what you want to stitch, you can definitely find her for a level where you're okay, well, that would be one night at the movies. I can spend 200 hours on her, so I'll spend that much. Yeah. But I'm stitching around 28 Count Garden Party by Miss Stitch Me that I had picked for a different project, but I did have Miss Stitch Me, this was dyed to order, and I just love it. There is a lipstick stain somewhere in here from our last whip parade you found it?
I see it.
Show me, because thank God, okay.
Hold on, pause, Tide pen.
We're going to Tide pen this whip
We're going to do it right now.
Because...
Don't wait. If you push down, it,
okay.
There you go.
Allison did make me Tide pen my Strawberry Fields Forever, and it did get the stain out, so...
I've Tide pen. I eat around my whips way too much.
Oh my God, Molly.
Most of them have been Tide pen.
My daughter, I was working on Poisonous Plants during the Chicago Marathon this morning, because we're filming when Andrew the Runner Stitcher is doing his Chicago Marathon.
Just finished.
Sal, and he finished 20 minutes ago or something. Okay, so my daughter had jam on her hands and came over and touched my whip, and I thought that she didn't actually get it touched. Then I was stitching, and you know how you keep your hand as I went, I was like, why is my whip sticky? And I realized but luckily it was the back of the whip, so it didn't stain it.
She's lucky she's cute.
They have to be, or they would literally never survive. I can't believe that my apartment was so dark I couldn't see.
You have a very dark apartment.
I moved, but yeah.
It's coming out. It looks great.
I think it'll come out. Yeah. And also, it doesn't have to come all the way out. It just has to kind of be peachier than pink.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so problem solved.
Ta-da!
Okay. So I started her in May and I did 500 stitches. So when she comes back and has, 750 to 1,000 more stitches in her, I think she'll just look so much better. But I'm loving it. And also the yellow and white are hard to see a little bit, not as much in person, but once she's kind of filled out with the blues and stuff that go around her and grays, it won't be.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, and those blue wings are gonna look so gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Where's your floss pack? Do you have that?
Yeah.
Show the floss pack. Those are some beautiful wings. Oh my gosh.
I just realized.
Does it have? Are all those charms?
So I don't buy the beads until I think I'm getting close to finishing something. Or at first I used to buy the bead pack, but now I start so many mirrors that I'm like, it's irresponsible.
Well, and you might have leftovers by the time you get to some of these.
But look at her floss pack.
Oh my god, it's so gorgeous.
And she lives in this Lake House Stitch Co. tea party bag for her little garden party.
Sweet.
I love her. I love her so much. Very excited to get back to her.
Yeah, she's a good one.
I'm going to say that on every one, but I literally just, when you have a whip parade, if you're not a Flosstuber, you were like, that sounds insane. But when a Flosstuber puts together a whip parade and they're like, I want to get back to that, but you can't because you can't get back to every single whip. So that's why I was like, you know what? No. At first I was going to try to touch every one and do 500 stitches, but I'm like, no, I'm doing 1,000. I'm going to feel... And then I had to say, okay, 750 if I run out of time. But I'm gonna feel like I really got into every one of these.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I love this one. This is my 2024 Leap Day Sal. So this is entered. If I get this done by Leap Day 2028, then I can enter for a copy of Lady of the Flag. Now I already have a copy of Lady of the Flag that I got after I entered that competition. Or not competition, but
it's a challenge.
Challenge, yeah. So I don't know if I'll take my name out. I've seen some people, or if I'll keep my name in, and if I win it, give it away on our channel or something. But this is waiting for ship. She's also out of print.
Oh,
not one of the more expensive out of print ones. You can usually find her for under $50. I just love her. I love her so much. I love her so much. And as you can see, I'm just trying to get all of her hair done.
I have to answer it. Sorry.
All right, Allison got a phone call. All right, so she is out of print. She's not a super expensive one. I'm obsessed with her. I did move her because I feel like on here, she's on this half the fabric, but then the pattern doesn't show her like that, but I really liked the negative space over here. And so I did move it so that her head is the center. So there'd be a little bit more of my fabric, but I'm obviously stitching on a fat quarter, so I don't have unlimited. Yeah. I would love to put her on a fat half and have half of it be, but that economically that doesn't make sense. Yeah. She's stitched on 28 count vintage pear by Lakeside Linen.
So pretty.
And I love her.
This color is amazing.
I love it.
Especially this mermaid on this color. Oh,
yeah.
This is gorgeous.
So I'm supposed to stitch her in 4 years. If you decide you want to stitch her, I'm happy to put her down for 6 months while you
She is gorgeous, but she's not the first mermaid I'm going for, so you have a lot.
I have other mermaids I want. Actually, the next mermaid I want to do, I don't have in stash. It's the 2 mermaids.
Oh, those are pretty, yeah. But I think you told me you do have the one I want.
I think so, but I don't have the one I want. But anyway, I don't need to start another mermaid for a while, so we're good. I love her so much. For her 750 to 1,000 stitches, I'm going to keep working on her hair. And if that gets me to the end, if I finish her hair completely, then I'll come back and start.
Are you going to do her?
I don't think I'm ready to do her skin. I have not ever wanted to do Mira Skin 1/1, so I won't be. But I still think, I don't know, maybe I'll do her skin. I don't know what I'll do. So the goal is to work on her hair till I'm done. She has a lot of hair, and she has more shades in her top, in the top that I haven't done. But if I finish that, I don't know where I'll go next. But I love her.
Fun to do.
Her tail looks really fun.
Yeah.
And if you got to the bottom of her hair, you could start the tail.
Yeah. I bet all those colors though around the green, like the circles, I bet those are all beads.
Oh my god, she's a dream. And this is a situation where the fabric that she's called for is olive green. It's actually it's Weiger olive green. I don't think they make that anymore, but I saw this and I just was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is a hard fabric to get though, so it's vintage pear from Lakeside Linen. It's not in stock very often, so I would not suggest you, like, if you want to start her, don't wait till you can get that fabric. Find another green.
Is this one that took a year to get here?
No, but it's one that like they happen to have it in stock, and I had that pattern, and the Mira 2024 Leap Day Sale got announced, and I was like, I'm doing it.
Meant to be.
Yeah. And she lives in my mermaid stitch and go case from Renee from the Golden Familiars, and I actually picked out this fabric for this stitch and go case because of her. So this is like my permanent mermaid house, and I am not, it's not a Mira mermaid, but when we do our plans, I am going to start a non Nora Corbett mermaid next year that will also live in here.
Interesting.
That I'm excited about.
I can't wait to hear these plans. She won't tell me.
No, and I have to like, I keep tweaking and tinkering, and when it's time to record it, I'll be ready.
I know, that's so funny. Our processes are so different.
Yeah.
She'll be like, hey, so Allison, what are your plans? I'll be like, let me think about some right now.
Yeah, and just start it. She'll text me like, I would like to start this Mirabilia mermaid like right now. Do you have it? And then in the morning when I wake up and I'm like, no, she'll be like, okay, well, I decided I'm doing something else anyway. It doesn't matter. It's like,
I'm a very seat of my pants kind of girl.
Yeah. Whereas like I've been like tinkering in my notes app with what my 20, and I DM them to Jen from Jen's Fiberweb because she's also an impulse starter, want to start right now person, and I'm like, what should I do for my birthday next year? Yeah, you and her can never talk about plans because you guys will just be like, oh, we're starting things.
Yeah,
today.
we're just doing that.
All right, next one. This I started for Allison's birthday, stitch along her hashtag Princess Birthday Sal.
This will be my favorite.
This is Cinderella.
This is so, I cannot believe it. Look how good that looks. Oh my God.
She's huge.
She's coming out so beautiful.
So when I stitch 1,000 stitches this month, I will still probably be in the castle. And the castle will probably still not be done, and that's okay. I want to do the whole castle before I start her dress. Now,
I'm starting with the dress.
I'm going to do the castle, then I'm going to do the dress, then I'm going to finish the border because if the border's not quite right, I would rather finagle the border than worry about it.
I'm with you there.
So I got the border down to where I could get into the castle, and then
it's just so beautiful.
in May I spent a lot of time fixing a lot of counting errors, but now I really am good. And I love her. She's stitched on the called for, which is 32 count Belfast smoky pearl linen. And
how much until the end? Like how far away from
I stopped at this point.
Okay, so it comes to about
this.
Here. Yeah, it's gonna be gigantic. Look at how big that is. Dang, she's a big one.
She's one of the only ones I have that is stitched on a fat half. Not a full fat half. I did cut off what I didn't need so that I could put it my, But I like this fabric a lot. It's really pretty.
Do you know how many stitches it is?
Because this is one where I'm taking pictures of the area I'm working on.
Okay.
I can't. I didn't get her scanned, and she's huge.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell you if I added up all my spreadsheets. Like I know how much I have stitched, so I could tell you, even though it's in multiple places, I could look it up and figure out what I have stitched if I sat down and do the math and open all the spreadsheets. Yeah, but I don't think I've done. I think I've done maybe 5,000 stitches, maybe 3,000. Yeah. It's just like that castle has got at least another 1,000.
Yeah,
in it. But she's in print. This is Mirabilia MD. MD69, so she is one of the older ones. She's early 2000s, but she's still in print. If there's any Mirabilia you like, really fall in love with, that's numbered under 100.
They retire them.
They do retire them. In the last year, I think they've only retired 2 or 3, so it's not like they retire all of them. But I am slowly like just buying the ones that I really want that are under, like that are the $100, not $100, that are number 100, MD 100 or 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. earlier just to be safe, but there's no like rule, I don't think, about which one. I don't know which ones they retire or why. But she is very much in print. I have seen her listed on eBay as out of print. She is not out of print. All right. And she lives. So Jen from Jasmine's Custom Bags made me and Allison these Cinderella bags for Allison's birthday.
They're matchy-matchy. I have one.
And I have another Cinderella project that I'm starting for your birthday in January that's not Mirabilia, but she'll live in they'll live
Do
together.
I know about the
the Joan Elliott Cinderella that I bought.
Yes.
I'm going to start. Because I was like, I can only start. Well, there's an Alforce chart that just came out that's black roses, and I was talking to Laura from Sushi by the Shore about maybe I need to start that for your birthday.
Oh my gosh, I want to start that.
Because I have an Alforce thread pack that has enough black to do that chart.
You should do it.
In the Alforce floss, if I don't do the red and black sampler. Remember they sent me that
they
extra?
say you do, yeah.
And I did end up buying the red and black sampler chart, but I could just buy it. The chart's like $8, so I have the floss for it. And if I ran out of black, I could just put red in some of the roses because I have red and black.
That would be gorgeous.
So I may start 2 things for your birthday, but neither of them.
Oh, I'm definitely starting more than 2 things for my birthday.
Neither we'll have a princess birthday style announcement in our Flosstube sometime in like November. One of our for people who want to prep for it. But anyway, I will keep stitching on Cinderella during your birthday month, but I'm not starting another Mirabilia princess for your birthday, even though I have some in stash because I
One's enough commitment. Yeah. You're good.
I have 10 Mirabilia Whips, and I have 2 starts planned in November, and I have 2 finishes planned this year, and I really want to keep it at 10. So my goal is like, okay, I want to start them in November, and I'm not going to finish the beading on the other 2 until the end of the year, but I want to exit 2024 with 10, and then I don't want to creep up past 10 very often. Like it may be a situation where I have to start one like a month before I finish one, but like on average, I want 10 Mirabilia Nora Corbett whips because that's, a lot.
A random number.
No, it's like about as many as I can handle being able to touch all of them in May and November and then having focus ones at other times.
Okay.
But it seems like
in a 4-week month seems like a lot.
To touch for like 500 to 1,000 stitches?
I guess so.
I touch about 20 projects a month.
That's a lot.
Yeah. All right. I don't touch them on every floss tube. Like every floss tube I bring over about 10 whips, but a lot of times they're like swapped out and stuff. Okay, next one. Oh.
This is your newest start, right?
This was one of my May starts, but I had multiple May starts.
Okay.
This is Stargazer.
Oh, yeah.
I started her in May and did 500 stitches. I love her dusty blues. I think it's really hard to tell from this picture. I think in this picture, you could say, is she purple? Is her dress purple? Is it her dress gray? Is her dress blues? I think it's hard to tell exactly. Like I was surprised when I pulled her floss by her floss pack being so blue, but her dress really is blue. There's lots of conversions out there. I keep dropping things. There's lots of conversions out there, but if you look at her floss pack and you stitch her like as charted, it's a lot of dusty blues. Mm-hmm. There are some that pop over into like a periwinkle purple, but the base is blue.
I guess I could see that. From far away, it does look more purple.
It's just hard to tell.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where it's like, stitched up, it maybe in person it will look more purpley as the purples go in, but I think this bag is a really good, like, matching her colors a little bit. Yeah. This is by Carrie Sews For You, my llama bag. I'm stitching her on 32 count vintage country mocha, which is a printed fabric. So she has modeling on that side, but on this side it's plain. I'm not finding this 32 count tight at all, like, because this is a linen. I do find the 32 count Luganas that I have I'm finding pretty tight. But this 32 count linen is not tight at all.
And that's important for a mirror because of the beading.
Well, no, because the Lugana that I have that is tight measures to exactly 32.
So this is too big.
No, it's something about the thinner thickness of the fiber and not the placement of the fiber, which means the beads will still fit, but you will feel like it's tighter to pull it through. which is a very weird mind trip. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
I am so excited to get back to her. She is in print. She's very popular. Laura from Lolly Stitches finished her last year, and has her hanging on the wall behind her in her videos if you want to see a stitched up version. And Samantha from the Hugo Stitcher showed all of her Mira finishes, I think in May, like for Mira May.
Could have been.
Always,
just go watch every episode.
Just watch every video.
Because they're behind her and she's amazing and she stitches them and shows you and it's great.
And she finished Stargazer too.
Yes.
And it showed her in that video. I'll link to both their channels. If I can figure out which video from Samantha's it is, like if it's labeled like Mirabilia or whatever, I will link to it too. And then Erica from Fibers and Floss Canada has some great tutorials on beading that I will be watching.
Yeah.
And I will link to her as well. All right. Shall we continue?
I'm excited. And I've seen them all today, but I didn't have names.
Okay, this is Lady Mirabilia.
I knew that one.
I started this last November. This is a chart that Allison picked up for me at Cecilia's.
1 year ago today.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So, Allison.
1 year ago yesterday, they're not open on Sundays.
Oh, okay. Well, with years, it's not the same day.
That's right.
Yeah. Roughly a year ago, Allison got me the chart.
I just know because Jared goes, hey, did you know that 1 year ago today we were in Branson?
Oh,
and I said, I did not know
So 1 year ago
today. It was 1 year ago today.
Or yesterday. We're not sure.
Or yesterday.
So Allison picked up the chart for me in Branson, Missouri at Cecilia Samplers, and we have a video on Allison's trip there, which is like our least watched video ever. So if you really like our videos, you still probably haven't seen that one. So I will go ahead and link to that in the description.
It's not a very good video.
No, it was, but it was like our third video or something. No, it was like our third video. But I'm doing this in the called for. I'm doing all my Mirabilias in the called for. I don't convert Mirabilias. I will convert skin and hair on a few of them, but for the most part, I'm stitching.
And maybe the dress for Lady of the Fly. Oh, you don't care anymore.
I don't care anymore.
Okay,
we'll see. We'll figure it out.
I still think blue would look beautiful.
I'll tell you guys. So it's so funny seeing like pulling out these packs because it's like you can see the evolution over time of how I kitted things up. Like they start out in like these like Flossway bags, which we have a video on how to use Flossway bags, and I really do like them. Then I have some on floss strips, and then the most recent one is like half just in floss in the bag because I was just like I'm sick of kitting things up.
Yeah.
But she has a lot of really beautiful Karen water lilies that are like stunning, and where I am, I'm already stitching some of them. So when she gets another 1,000 stitches, that dress will just keep filling out. It looks really weird right now because the shape of the dress is kind of funny. She lives in this Carrie Sews For You bag, and she stitched on 28 count Luna Moth by Bestitch Me, which I just love so much. Okay, there was a stain on, there's like a spot on the camera, like on the phone, that I thought was a spot on the fabric. Because
I see it. It's on the camera.
Yeah, but because there is monoline, but the monoline doesn't become like that's a Diet Coke spot.
Which is not surprising.
I love her. I never showed her to you guys. This is what she looks like. This chart is in print. It's a little more expensive because it comes with the butterfly charm. So I do have that charm already. This was the 25th anniversary chart. So like down here it says Mirabilia Designs 25. In 10 years when I get to the bottom of this pattern and I'll decide if I want to stitch that as charted or if I want to change it somehow. Yeah. Because I was thinking maybe I'll have it say like Lady Mirabilia or something, but you'd have to do a lot of changing to figure it out. I'll probably just leave the whole thing. I'll probably just be done with it and I'll just do like some kind of flourish and be done with it.
No, you should have some like lady something.
Well, I could also just do Mirabilia, the purple thing, and leave off the word cross stitch and leave off designs. That's probably what I'll do. And leave off the 25 and it would look just as good. Because I just don't think I want Mirabilia designs. It's like that mermaid that's like a Mill Hill bead ad that's the Merchant Mermaid. It's like, I love the mermaid, but I don't know if I want like Mill Hill, like.
I think with Mirror it's different. I think that I could totally see it looking wonderful as is, Mirabilia
Oh, I think it
designs.
would look great. It's just funny, like, I just don't know if I want to do it. I haven't decided yet.
I think I would leave off the words cross stitch for sure, but I think Mirabilia designs is cute.
But we'll see when I get to that point. Because she's never been a focus. So I pulled her out for Nora November. I pulled her out for a couple people who had fancy birthday sals because she was my fancy lady. I pulled her out for Mira May. So she's only gotten like little bits of progress. Whenever it's her turn to be like the focus, I'm trying to get her done.
Yeah.
I bet I'll just be like, I want her done and don't do it. But we'll see what happens.
We'll find out.
Okay.
Stay tuned. One more?
No, there should be more than. Okay. Yeah. I think 3 more.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 more whips, but not 3 more things. All right. The next one is. This is the first one I started.
This is?
Yeah.
I thought Moonglow.
No, I started her on like the 15th or something because I was starting her with people and I started her on the 15th and I don't remember. But I don't remember. This is Fairy Flora. She, I'm stitching her with Rachel from Licking Floss and Memphis Sarah. You joined us in the Fairy Flora retirement style and you're welcome to join us too. Because basically she got retired and I went and found a copy from someone who had stock that day. And actually I found 2 and I gave one away on our channel. She's someone who is stitching her and hers looks so good too. So I'm stitching her. As you can see, she's huge. She is MD7. So she was in print last year and then got retired in like September or October. So that's why I say like, you just never know. If there's a chart you would be really sad about missing out on, get it. But also when things go out of print, they don't go up real expensive right away. Like they might be like $30. So you also might be like, well, I don't want to do that because I'll just pay $30 when it's time instead of hoarding $100 worth of patterns. Like it's up to you. I'm a hoarder of patterns.
I'm a borrower of a hoarder of patterns.
So she stitched on 28 Count Earth by Fiber on a Whim, which was what Rachel from Licking Floss picked for hers, and I just copied hers because I had mine in stuff.
It's great. It's so great.
I love it. There are people stitching her on so this is one where okay, you see that and it looks like it could be brown or it looks like it could be gray.
I see green.
The called for is Barnwood, but it's Barnwood by Witchelt, which is not the Barnwood that's out now. It's like an older one. I don't think they even sell that anymore. This is a brown with green modeling, which I think is good. I think you could stitch her on a lot of different things and she'd look great. So, but I like her on brown.
The darker the better though, because those are white wings.
Yeah.
White. That's a bright wings.
Yeah, so she had gotten a lot of progress this year because when I was still up to date on my WIPGO board, which I'm not going to finish this year. I'm going to start WIPGO next year afresh. Okay. But she did get 2 of her 3 rotations off WIPGO, so she had a lot of progress this year. But I did just get sick of the dress. I'm close enough now. I need to bounce off that dress and do some of the flowers and just stitch with other colors because bouncing forth between white and baby pink, I did it and I need to move on with my life for a little while. There's some counting errors over here that make me like a little intimidated. I really just need to get down here, do it down here, and then count off the bottom. But she's so pretty, and she is out of print, but you can find her on eBay for in the like 20s and 30s if you're really looking. Sometimes people will list out of print Mirabilias for a lot, just hoping that someone comes along and really wants it and doesn't care what the real normal price is. But if you really like her and you watch out for her, you can find her for good prices.
Do your research.
And she lives in her rose bag by Carrie Sews For You. I love Carrie Sews For You bags and obviously I also love Jasmine custom bags for like these bigger like floss packs and stuff. And I do have her Kreinig. Last year I bought a bunch of Kreinig sets for the few that I was going to start last year. I do have all the materials except the bead packs. I just realized the scissors are out though, and I would really like to find the scissor sheath. And it doesn't seem to be. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm not somebody. I stop and start on the back, so I do just own a bunch of cheap pairs of scissors, and I like to leave the scissors in the bag. If I was like a pen stitch front starter, I would appreciate why I needed a $100 pair of scissors. Now, do I own $100 worth of scissors? Yes, but they're spread out over 40 bags.
fair enough.
Um,
It's quantity.
yes. All right. We have two more.
Yeah, we have two more.
We have two more. This is Cathedral Woods Goddess. I love her. I love her. And this was the first one I thought I was going to start, and then her fabric didn't come in. And a lot of other people are stitching her. Rebecca from Beck Stitches Everything started her too. I think that's actually how we became friends. It was that or Fairy Flora was that she started talking to me about Mirabilia stitching. When she stitches, Beck stitches everything. I mean, she literally stitches everything. She's stitching like a few Mirabilias. She's also stitching Halloween at Hot Ground Hollow, and also she's stitching like what's the giant heartstring sample? Consider the Lilies.
Oh yeah.
On like a 46 or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She stitches everything. But I think it was this pattern that we first started talking about. So she, Cathedral Woods Goddess, she. Oh, also the Salty Stitcher started her last year too, or this year too. What's time? And that's how I think I started talking to her.
Yeah. So you're saying Mira brings people together.
That's why we're doing this video, because I'm going to tell you guys when I'm going to start and when I'm going to work on, and if you guys want to work on it on the same day or start the same thing, let me know. Mm-hmm. And that's how I did not have cross stitch friends outside of you until I posted my Nora November video last year, and Elizabeth Savory was like, oh, I'll start that with you, and Allie was like, oh, I'll start it with you, and Rachel was like, oh, I'll start it with you. I was like, I can have friends in cross stitch, and now I have cross stitch friends.
Now they're
still my friends, and now I also have other friends. It's very
that's weird, because I have cross stitch friends from other similarities who I then influenced to start Mirabilia. Yeah. Well, I think it was you. Penny was like, okay.
That's it.
But it was definitely your fault.
I think we should do an extra next year about how to make cross stitch friends, because I think it's it is actually quite easy if you're very into the community, but I think it can be intimidating for people to start.
I am such an introvert, and even I made cross stitch friends.
You make cross stitch best friends.
I have love
yeah
cross stitch friends. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's easy. Even if you're an introvert, it can be done. Because we love this.
Also, you're meeting other introverts and you're mostly talking online, when people can be chill and detached and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm stitching her on 28 count.
No idea.
It's not Middle Earth. I ordered her with Middle Earth and something else and I can't remember. Forest something.
That sounds right. Just camo.
I wonder if...
That's what I see right now, camo.
I bet I don't.
This is military chic. That's what we're calling it.
Oh, if you want to see the opposite of floss straps.
I do have one that looks like that. My bag.
Now look at how pretty her palette is.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It's
so
gorgeous.
She doesn't have that many stitches. She has 15,000 stitches, but she has a million beads. Rachel from Licking Floss finished her. I think you can see her in her videos now, but I'm not 100%. It's so good. And she stitched her on 32 count Swamp, and I was inspired by that fabric because it has green and gold in it. But I couldn't find 28 count, and at the time I didn't think I could do 32 count on a mirror. I was too intimidated. Now I would probably just have copied her. But I love this fabric. It's from Stitch Me.
No, it's great.
I cannot remember the name of it.
It's 100% on theme too. She's gonna look.
It might be Enchanted Forest or
right
something.
At home, yeah.
Like that. It's if you really want to know what the fabric is and I don't remember, I will look it up because I can find it. She lives in this bag that is a sweet little bird bag, and this bag maker doesn't make bags anymore, unfortunately, because I really liked the style of bag.
Yeah.
And I have two of them and I will cherish them. So in 1,000 stitches, she's gonna look really good.
Oh, so good.
Now I just want to do all these today, but I do have to stitch on Touching the Autumn Sky today, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
Because I do have goals for today for Mira. So
me too.
Well, you have. Allison's I want this to be over.
All right. I enjoy beading. I'm good. I am pacing myself for you.
Yeah. No, I did. I was could you just please finish her in November, please? Because it was she could hurry up and finish her
I could
next week.
Yeah.
It's or you could work on some other things.
And
slowly.
and I do like it. In the morning I bead, and in the evening I stitch other things, and it works perfectly.
Did I show you guys what Cathedral Woods got us looks like?
Nope,
Nope,
we didn't see. Nope.
Isn't she great? Look at that.
She's beautiful.
I don't think it's. I think it's. This is a very common one to fall in love with as people's first like. Oh, I don't see myself in Fancy Ladies. I don't want to stitch a mermaid. I don't want to stitch a fairy, but I like her. Moonglow and Cathedral Woods Goddess, I think, are many people's gateway drug. Those two were mine because I was like, I don't see myself in Mira. They're too skinny. Like even she's like way too skinny for me to. But then I saw myself in Moonglow a little bit, and then I was like, well, I also like her, and now I'm like,
she's a thin woman.
How many fairy patterns can I own before?
Yeah,
my house is only full of fairy patterns.
Well,
I don't even like fairies and mermaids in real life.
I love her antlers. Looks so
But
good.
yeah, I think a lot, like she's like kind of pagany and woodsy, but still fancy and still pretty.
Kreinik.
Yeah, it is.
All Kreinik.
She's a lot of Kreinik.
That's a lot of Kreinik.
I don't know if her Kreinik is in her bag. Let's see. Because I have like a pouch in one of my...
I can't wait to see you stitch this because in TV you can't tell what Kreinik looks like. So while I've seen it finished, I will never have seen it finished.
For real? Like that? Yeah.
I am so excited for you.
Well, in 2027, you can enjoy. Or you can borrow her and do it yourself faster than that.
But I want to see you do it.
Oh my gosh. I love her.
She's gorgeous.
Okay, so my next one is my last one. It's one that almost no one stitches. I have not seen a single other person stitch her. In fact, I gave my extra copy to Rachel from Licking Floss when I had to send her some other stuff, like that I had destashed that she bought off me. I was like, "Do you want her? Like, and do you want to stitch her? Like, what if you just like stitched her with me?"
She said no.
No, she said she just was like, she was like, I won't say no to an out of print Mirabilia pattern, but like,
yeah.
So this is Elizabeth and the Lavender Sky. Look at her 90s glory. This is the first Mirabilia pattern I actually bought. Not because it was the first one I fell in love with, but because I saw it on someone destashing and it was like the equivalent of $2. And then I bought a $7 copy because this one has got some places where you can't read the pattern to make sure that I knew what those spots were. And then I gave that one to Rachel. This is MD10, so she's out of print, but she's an out of print one that literally goes for less than the in print ones.
Because nobody is.
Because nobody wants to stitch her, but
no
she's
one's
glorious.
doing a retro thing right now in cross stitch apparently.
I am. Okay, so I'm stitching her on. You're like, what is that? This is 28 count easy grid.
I love, yes.
No, it's not. It's 16 count.
The one I bought?
No, you don't know. This is 16 count easy grid, not 14 count easy grid, and it's definitely not 28 count. Because
16
I'm converting her to full coverage because there's just a few places in the pattern in between these like weird Italian kitchen blocks, and you know exactly what I mean, that are open and like in here. So I just decided I'm going to fill those in with ecru and make the whole thing full coverage, and that way it'd be nice to have one that was more full coverage. And so but because of that, and I'm gonna I don't want any of the fabric to show, so I took her frame and I'm extending it a little bit, and I'm going to fill in a little bit of ecru around her frame so that I can have it framed right up to the edge so that her fabric doesn't show. It'll wash off, but I don't want the Adia to show because I'm just not an Adia lover. But I thought take advantage of being able to do one on Adia. I have one in stash that I could also do like this, that I could actually probably fit down here.
Oh, that would make it easy.
Yeah.
We could live in the same bag.
So, I did 500 stitches on her, so I restarted her from plain Adia to gridded Adia. And
if you haven't used gridded Adia before, it is amazing for full
I'm very excited
coverage.
about it.
Yeah.
But I'm doing an old skein of this color, and I thought, oh no, I'm gonna run out. So my friend Bonnie Claire from Stitchlet sent me a skein that she had of the old color. So my goal for this month is to get like 1,000 stitches, which should get me all the way around here, and also should let me know if I have enough of that old color to do the whole border. Because then I can switch to a new skein when I get into the interior of that color, but I need the border to match all the way around. So that's for this. So this month, this will be a really easy one to pull out to do my 1,000 because I'm literally just going to be doing the border still. But
very good.
It's so weird, and I get why it's not popular, but also you should Stitcher with me. Don't you think you should Stitcher? Rachel, Stitcher. Rachel. Also, that's how
never felt so called out in her whole life.
Rachel.
This is the kind of peer pressure that nobody needs, Stephanie.
You need it. Everyone needs it. All right, so those are my Mirror Whips. She lives in this Carrie Sews For You cat bag.
I love this
I
bag.
didn't have any bags that were like appropriately themed, and she's got a lot of floss. It's all DMC though. I have nothing but I have like nothing in this bag other than I have what Bonnie sent me of the old color. Oh, she sent me one in like a partial. I should be way good.
Yeah.
But I have like no needles or scissors in here. I don't know what's happening. Good thing I know that now.
You
Like,
pilfered it for something.
like don't take this in the car and try to do it in carpool. You have no needle. But I thought like the color scheme was very Italian kitchen.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thought process behind that. All right, so that is the end of my whips.
Yay.
Oh, the needle box that I found earlier.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But what about the scissors?
They're lost
Who
somewhere.
knows? Yeah.
So also sometimes like I don't actually have as many scissors as I have like project bags. So sometimes I'll take. Well, I could buy another set, but like because like on Amazon, I'll link to them. They're super cheap, like 8 or 12 for $26 on Amazon. Like I don't ask questions about where these are coming from cheap, but and I really like them. But I don't want to spend another $30 in scissors. So at this point, I'm like, if I know I'm not going to touch a whip for like 3 months, I'll pull the scissors out of the bag sometimes.
Well, as I've been whipping down, I have.
Oh.
Because I also put one in every
If you
single
literally
bag.
have
literally
extra
have
scissors and I can't convince you to whip up, then,
Then
then I will take your extra scissors as a consolation prize.
Okay. I'll give you my extras.
Now, Allison.
Yes.
What are your planned starts for Nora November?
Okay. Are you sure? Does it count? I'm not sure it counts.
Okay, so Allison.
Let me get it.
Okay.
Hold on. What did I?
In our last floss tube, we showed some stitchy kindness that we got from Donna, who is Stitch X Love on Instagram. And she's a designer, and she also is an avid thrifter. And she sent us like a packet of stuff that she got, and I told the whole story last time. But in it was clearly something that was like spiritually destined for Allison and spiritually destined for me. And things we both already had, like, so, and Allison actually already had fabric for. So, but this is not by Nora Corbett.
Okay, so it's not a Nora.
But it is.
It's not a Nora.
It's a lavender and lace. And Marilyn Levitt Emblem is Nora Corbett's mother. So I think starting a lavender and lace in Nora November is a stretch. But I think it counts in terms of celebration of this family of artistic women.
Wonderful women.
Who have given us so much.
Yes.
And I don't know a lot about their relationship, but if somebody celebrated my mother,
I would appreciate it.
I would appreciate it too. So I think
our mother is the best.
Don't tell me that. And also she wasn't until like 5 years ago.
There
was a period from like 16 to 30 where
teenagers hate their parents anyway.
I didn't hate her. It was just my son was born and her personality changed a little bit.
Grandparents are very different than parents.
Yes.
Very different people.
So we loved her then, but now she's like this whole other like fairy godmother type person that she was not in the middle. But anyway, so I think it counts. If anybody knows if there's like some reason it shouldn't count, let us know. Other than just like you
if
feel
it's
like it shouldn't count.
offensive, I need to know that.
If it would be like a problem, and someone knows like an inside story, that would be a problem. But I'm thinking I've never heard of anything like that. So
I'm starting it, but I could delay
But she
it
could
till
like
December.
Yeah, she could start it December 1st if she needed.
If I need to delay it, I will delay it. But I am going to stitch it.
But
because
how beautiful
is
she?
amazingly beautiful.
So this is Celtic Christmas.
And I already had some fabric that I'm going to put her on. I'm going to tea dye it for a little bit just to give it. First of all, I love a crunchy Adia, but oh my goodness.
I bought that off Amazon before I realized like there are some places. Amazon Adia is okay, but before I realized like not all Adia was made equal, and this is a
crunchy one.
Yeah, so that will, and also it'll kind of mellow it a little bit.
I think so
but I
too.
do think the golden hue of it will be good for this.
I think so too.
Watch out!
And she sent the beads. So not only do I have the pattern, I have all of the beads. I'm like beyond excited.
Yeah,
So now
pretty.
this whole project has been gifted to me. That is amazing.
So I think it counts, but like if you know
Of a reason
that it wouldn't count,
yeah.
let us know, and Allison will just casually start it December 1st, and we won't say anything about it.
Yeah.
But in my head right now, I've heard people say that's her mom a million times, and I've never heard anything like
Bad.
Yeah.
But we understand family dynamic is hard.
Are complicated. But to me, I
don't
also
want to
feel
offend
like
anyone.
yeah,
I just want to support.
yeah. And also like, you know, the nice thing about like this being a community of not exclusively, but a community that is predominantly women, and a lot of women who are, you know, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, where you're constantly thinking about your relationship with your parents for good and for bad, things like that. So,
but she's so gorgeous. I saw her stitched up at the Oklahoma State Fair last year, and I've been thinking about her for a year.
Which is so funny because you never told me that, and I never told Donna that, and that's just what she's. And she had a few different lavender laces, and I think she sold some, and I think she gifted some. And
well, at the time, I didn't know who Lavender and Laces was. I didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
And then I gradually saw her being shown in other places.
That's
I'm
so funny.
That's her. That's the woman I saw.
In our State Fair wrap-up video, I was looking at the picture of the Halloween that came in second, and I didn't recognize it at all. And then someone else showed it yesterday at a Flosstube, and it's a Bothy Threads kit.
Oh, okay.
It's like you need, like, the more you're around cross stitch, the more you like see, you can just tell, like, that's a blackbird, that's a hands across the sea, that's a Mirabilia.
Yeah.
That's a lavender lace because they're very related to Mirabilia, but it's not quite as like blingy.
But it's so like elegant and holiday spirit, and that's me, and I love it.
I think it's gonna be. So
I don't know how elegant I am, but I wish I was.
I could totally see you dressing up as her for Halloween.
That would be so nice. Anyway, so that's my only plan is to start that unless I hear otherwise.
Unless we hear that we need to delay it, in which case we will not say anything.
Well, you'll just
know. Oh, it started December 1st. Okay.
And then to finish beading her, and then she will be done, and back stitching.
And she wants her done on November 5th. So she wants her done.
That's we live in the United States. That's our presidential election date.
Okay, so we just had a lot of personal therapy, but basically, that we are cutting out, but basically that the plan is to finish that November 5th.
Yeah.
And, you guys, if we can keep her from finishing it in October, we'll be very lucky.
We'll see.
And then that's a gift for your husband.
Yes.
But since you're not going to get it framed, although I did send you, Audrey sent me those recommendations for framing, I passed them on to you.
Oh, okay.
So she wants to get it done for her 10th anniversary in December, which... Yeah, and then also she's thinking about just hanging it on those stretcher bars in the living room while she waits to get it framed. Which means that basically the day she finishes, she's just gonna pop it on the wall.
She's gonna put it on the wall.
All right. So my plans to start. I'm starting 2 projects. In my 2024 plans video, I did say I'm gonna start 2 projects. I think I listed some options, but I did not know for sure what I was gonna start. But now I know for sure. And one of them. Well, they're both out of print. Sorry.
Out of print doesn't necessarily mean prohibited. It means think about it.
They're varying prices of out of print, but
do your research.
So I got this for a pretty good price last year. I got it for around $35. This is Christmas Elegance. It does go for more, and it goes for more the closer you get to Christmas, honestly, because people are like, "Oh, I think I want to stitch a Christmas Nora." There are a bunch of in-print ones. I'll show some in my stash.
I love
that are
Christmas ones.
So
the reindeer.
I don't have any of those, but there's a bunch. So if you want to stitch a Christmas Nora, this is not the only one. But I love her. I'm obsessed with her. I just look at the beads on her though. That whole and I'm not gonna get out of the green this year, but I'm stitching her on Blue Spruce by Zweigart, which is not the call for, but I feel like is gonna be pretty good. It'll be darker night than the picture, but
it'll still be beautiful.
I'm really excited. I wanted to start her last year, but I ordered a fabric for her that didn't come, and then this year I decided to give that fabric to a different project, so I could have stitched her on this last year because I had this, but whatevs. I don't have her floss pack or her yet. Because it's just DMC, so I'll go through my stash. I probably won't even fully kit up the DMC on her. I'll probably just get a few, because if I start in the middle, I'll probably be starting with either that blue bow, right? Mm-hmm. Or I could start at the bottom in the green because of the way that she's centered on the fabric at the bottom. Like, she's basically full coverage from the head down. Mm-hmm. So if I start at the bottom and the middle, I'll be in the greens. So I'll just make sure I have a few of the colors I need, because 1,000 stitches in this color block situation, I don't need to get every thread.
It's deceptively. Look at all those shades of green.
No, but I mean, I'll be able to look at the pattern and say, okay.
But you might need multiple shades of green.
So I'll go through my stash and pull all the flosses that I have for the two things that I'm starting, and then I'll only buy what I absolutely need to get through this year, because I have so much floss that I feel like some of them it's like might be sitting in other projects and stuff. So, but with something like this too, that red is like she's so pretty. So this is MD6. I just tend to be drawn to the older style of them, clearly with Elizabeth and the Lavender Sky. And then there are some of the new ones that I really like. Obviously, like Cathedral, Good Goddess, love her. But for the most part, the older style just are kind of more my jam. She lives in this, I don't remember. Oh, Pretty Southern. This is by Pretty Southern, I think. I picked it because it's my most elegant Christmas bag, because it's Christmas elegance, and it's got the same color palette. I don't have her B-pack. Her B-pack is probably going to be expensive, but I'll get her whatever.
That's all I need.
So my goal is I'm going to stitch 2,000 stitches on 1,000 to 2,000 stitches on her in November, but then I'm going to keep her out in December too, obviously, because it's like, I don't want to stitch her off season as much, but so she needs to get a lot of progress. Not a lot, but I'm going to keep her out in December.
You want to keep her out.
I'm going to want to stitch her in December. But it's not like she's not getting finished this December. I scanned her pattern and put it in markup, but it didn't read it right. But it says she's like some insane number of stitches, and it doesn't include her head. Like it did, so it was like, okay.
I don't think they translate to markup very well. And be careful, because I started mine because the middle of the pattern in markup is different than the middle of the pattern. I know.
All right, and then the last time I start, I have been thinking about so there's another out of print Mirabilia that somebody is going to lend me that I was thinking about starting, but it's not here yet, and I'm like, I'll wait and start that when I finish something else, or maybe I'll I'll start that one next year. Mm-hmm. But then this pattern showed up in the same kit from Donna. So this is Seaside Kingdom, and this is an out of print Mirabilia. It didn't make our most expensive cross stitch patterns list, but it is up there. It is more than Christmas elegance. I've seen it anywhere from like 75 to 125. And it's like this older style. It's one of, it's like little children. I want to rechart them so that they are my kids' skin color and hair color. And then I also want to move the perspective around a little bit. And so the boy looks older, or at least they look the same age, because my kids are like 3 years apart, but my daughter's younger. So I want to move them around a little bit. So I'm going to start in the middle in the castle, so that, because I'm not ready to deal with that yet. Now, I didn't have fabric. I wasn't going to start in November. Even when it showed up last week, I wasn't going to start. Because I didn't have the fabric. I hadn't thought about any of the things. But then this package showed up yesterday, and I did not ask the person who sent it if I could put them on blast. So I'm not going to. But I will ask them if they want me to say on the next video when I share this again in Stitch of Kindness, whatever. I would love to share, but
if they'll let it.
If they don't want people to know, then I do not need to tell. Because this package showed up yesterday, and it's like, okay. So when this sticker shows up, first of all, I was like, my husband brought it in. I was like,
did you say you had to defend yourself from
I was like, I didn't buy anything. First of all, I didn't buy anything.
I told you. I wasn't buying it.
And then I was like, maybe they sent my last order twice. That would be kind of cool. And then I pulled it out, and I was looking at the slip. I was like, this is not my order. And it's like 1 million beads and some fabric. I was like, this is not my order. I did not order this. They sent me someone else's order. Well, that's kind of cool. Then I looked at the price and I was like, zero. Somebody sent this to me. A friend sent this to me. And I mentioned on our last, I'm not going to go into it, but just at a very high level, I mentioned on our last floss tube that I had to like leave our house for like a few days and I had like grabbed my out of her Mirabilia. This is like, it might go back.
Yeah.
Well, we were back at the house and life has been lifing. Life has been lifing in a way where deciding that I need to put down my dog is not in the top 3 most stressful life decisions I had to make in the last week. So life has been hard. And
it's been hard.
But I have not really got into that with any stitchy people or even real people in my real life. And so I texted the one person I had really told about it because I was like, the Venn diagram of people who know my life, it's been really stressful and also know what 1, 2, 3 stitch is. Very small. And I knew of Alice. I was like, Alice.
She's like, Allison's broke. It's not Allison.
Allison would not have sent it to my house. She would have sent it
She goes,
here.
Allison doesn't even know my address.
No. Allison drives to my house from memory. She does not know the street address. She would have sent it here. She would have bought something for herself too, and she would have split that shipping. She would not have done the shipping just to give me a present. So I was like, it's not Allison. But she said she did know who it was because this person reached out. And that was like, so this totally made my day because life has been really hard. And this is like really exciting.
It's so nice.
This friend sent me the full bead pack for this chart, which is
not small.
Not small. And it's got so many treasures in it because the sandcastle. So this is like a computer printout of this picture, but you can see that it's a real pattern. But like the picture doesn't really, no Mirabilia pattern picture does it justice, but this is like doing it even less justice.
Yeah.
But the sandcastle is made like beautiful in real life as opposed to that picture by like 1 million beads and charms and treasures. And these charms are crazy.
They're so cute. She showed me.
Yeah. I also came over yesterday. So like there's little to go through this Facebook haul that I'll show you guys on the next floss tube. So it's got little seashells, little leaves. Oh, this is the coolest one.
Ooh.
This
Little
starfish charm. Guys, when I say my life has been lifing, I bit my nails to trash this week. But anyway, okay, so these leaves. And then there's some little, I think these are called bicorns. I'm not 100% what these are called. But they're in the treasures, not the beads, but these little pinky guys. And then
so many beads.
So many beads. And 2 of the same color of beads, which you know is a sign that you're gonna do some beading. But like, oh, look at this color of beads. So like, that's how you get it going from like just a sandcastle to just like a Mirabilia sandcastle. So they sent me the beads, which was so sweet. And it was really fun because I was like, okay, I think this is a care package. I think this is for Mirabilia. Which Mirabilia is it for? And I should have guessed because I just had been talking about this one and the starfish. But I started Googling the beads and being like, Mirabilia, this, and then I was like, it's Seaside Kingdom. And this is the same fabric that I'm stitching Touching the Autumn Sky on, and they're both ones I'm doing conversions for my kids' coloring. So I think it'll be so good. So they sent a fat half of 32 count vintage blue whisper, which I have a few projects on this fabric. Yeah. It's just like I think when I showed Touching the Autumn Sky, I forgot to talk about it. It's like cloudy, wispy on the front, but it's printed, and it's it will be perfect on this.
Oh, it'll be so gorgeous.
So it's not the called for. The called for is white linen, but they said they've seen it stitched up on this color, and I agree this will be way better. Because when I got it, I started thinking about fabrics, because you need a fat half. You can technically fit it on a fat quarter, but it's not a full 3-inch margin, and then you have to decide. And also with this, you probably want more showing than the actual thing. So it doesn't require a fat half, but a fat half is way better.
It'll frame better. Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't going to go through my stash to start it on anything that I have because I don't have any fat halves of stash. So but I had started thinking about it. And when this showed up, I was like, of course, that's perfect. Like, this is the same fabric I'm doing my Coastal Cola on too. Like, it's a perfect beach fabric.
So beachy. Yeah.
But it's also like the sky, for touching on the sky. So like, this is perfect. So I'm gonna start this too. So my plans to start are Rosanna from Bright and Dusty and I are gonna start Christmas Elegance on November 1st. And then I'm gonna start Seaside Kingdom. I haven't picked a day, but probably like a week later. As soon as I'm like, oh, I need to start the next thing. And as soon as
when the mood strikes.
What'll probably happen is I'll start Christmas Elegance, I'll get some done, and then I'll be like, okay, I want to break from this, and I want to start, but I want to I'll start that. Because I have, I got a lot of
need to start
things.
something sometimes.
So my goal is to get 1,000 to 2,000 stitches on that.
Nice. And
I'm so excited. And I was thinking about starting it next May because it's such a summer piece. But then when the materials are like staring at you, you're like, well, I'm not going to wait now.
Also, it's going to take you a while to chart and to rechart.
This is not
it's not small.
This is not small. So,
in fact, what's the dimensions on this?
Big.
Big. 206 by 247. That's kind of big.
Yeah, it's like less than 3-inch margins on a fat quarter, but not if you want to frame it big.
Mm. And it's like mostly it's like full coverage.
It's full coverage and it's a lot of beige. So it's going to take a long time, but it'll be such a fun one to pull out in the summers.
And it's going to be so cute.
All right.
So cute.
We're going to take a real quick break because I need to charge the phone up for a few minutes.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back and I'm going to show Allison every Mirabilia pattern I own.
How many would you guess you have? Or do you know?
Well, more than I have.
You didn't break them all?
No, I brought them all. I mean, I have more than this in stash. Like, that I haven't started.
I figured that. How many do you think you have?
We'll find out.
She didn't answer the question.
I didn't count them. I didn't count. All right.
Okay.
Oh, and we also got sent some that I haven't even shown you yet as a stitchy kindness that I'll tell you about.
Okay.
So we don't know. All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. So before we go into the stash, Allison did pull out. Allison has 1 Mirabilia finish. She's about to have 2. I have 0. I will hopefully have 2 pretty soon.
Yeah.
But we have shown this many times. So if you watch the channel, but if you haven't watched the channel, what is this?
This is Mia Mermaid. She is a freebie. I think I got it straight from the Mirabilia website. And I stitched her, I don't know, on a mystery fabric that I was gifted.
Isn't it Seafoam by Digi-Stitchery?
That's what it is?
You were gifted it, but I think that's what it is.
Okay, that's what it is then. My memory's not good.
It's definitely by Digi-Stitchery. It's like
I remember saying that a million times, so that's probably what it is.
It's a printed Ada.
Okay. But I love stitching on it. It was great. I did a whole conversion. None of these beads are the bead called for. None of these flosses are the called for. I just kind of went with it, and I love her.
Oh, I completely forgot.
What?
Katie the Peacock Stitcher gave this to you.
Yes.
And that reminds me, when I started Cathedral with Goddess, I actually started it with Katie the Peacock Stitcher.
Oh, okay.
And I think Adia is Crafty also started it with us. And it was when Katie didn't tell me it was her birthday. She was like, what day do you want to start? And I just picked a random day.
Yeah.
And she was just like, cool. And then didn't say like, oh, it's my birthday. So I told her, like I dictated her birthday start to her on accident. But it's a pretty good one. So it's
That's
like
a good one,
fine.
That's funny though.
But she also I think finished Taurus, the Nora Corbett Zodiac girls. And,
which are all cool.
Jen's Fiberweb did Pisces, but she changed the fish to orange and it's really good. Like, those are good ones to start with. But anyway, sorry. And Katie Peacock Sister also stitched Moonglow with us, but she finished it, so.
She has a habit of doing that. She also finished the one that we were doing, the 12 Days of Christmas.
That's supposed to be a full year?
Yeah, she just finished it and I'm so far behind. But anyway, so this is Me Mermaid.
And it ribboned at the state fair. If you want to see the place it got, check out our state fair wrap-up video that we just posted. But yeah, so there's one in the family now, because we're sisters. If you don't know, we're sisters.
Do we not say that all the time?
Never, we never say it. We just talk about our family like people just assume that we are.
We're
we assume, but anyway. But hopefully by the end of 2024, there will be 4.
Yay!
All right. Stash dive. Now, Allison asked me to count. Okay, so there are 13 patterns over there between my 10 whips, Allison's 1 whip, and my 2 plain starts. There are 13 Mirabilia patterns over there. There are either 22 or 23 Mirabilia patterns over here because I don't know if the last one I'm going to show you is counterfeit. So that's where we are. And one of those is actually Nora Corbett. One of these is actually Nora Corbett. The rest are Mirabilias.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
I want to see.
All right, the first one, this is Floral Dreams. So Moonglow, the one that I'm hoping to finish, will be finished, is part of the Wild Floss series of Nora Corbett's, and Moonglow is her companion. I really hope there are more. Like, I hope there end up being 4 or 10, because I love this series.
Yeah.
I was going to start her when I finished Moonglow, but I decided not to start her this year because I have ordered like 5 different fabrics for her and never been happy. She might just need to be on like a vintage country mocha or something, but I'm not ready to give up the dream of finding the perfect fabric for her.
What color could possibly match all of the colors?
So the Adia, the Garden Fairy, the Garden Party is I originally got for her, which I think she would look good on it, but I don't think she would look as good as Adia is going to look on it. Yeah. So I don't know yet. So anyway, I'm not going to start her this year. Maybe I'll start her for my plans for next year. I just have in November, like a Nora or Mira, and so like
she'll go with the vibe.
So I don't know for sure next year, but I will stitch her at some point.
She's gorgeous.
Also, like, just from a personal perspective, with little kids and stuff, the other one is less like naked butt. It's more just like naked lady. Where this one is like naked butt, and I have a little boy, so I need to put her up in my room when she's done.
Yeah.
So all right. So this is MD number. I think she's MD1 actually, because she doesn't have a number.
1993.
Damask Roses.
Beautiful.
Now, Allie from Allie's Use Crafty has her and told a really beautiful story about that this was about like losing a child or something.
Yes, I remember.
And so when I am ready to emotionally process the 2 miscarriages I had between my 2 children, which I'm not quite there yet, because I had Molly.
Definitely not now.
And then I needed to just get through like having a baby. But I think when I feel like I'm fully out of the baby phase, I'm going to stitch her and reflect on like motherhood and not having to do babies anymore and having these grown children, and also think about like those 2 experiences were very traumatic. Even though they were early, it's not like nothing bad happened. It was just like it was traumatic to want to have a baby and then be having a miscarriage. So I bought her because I loved hearing about that, and I don't know if I'm getting the details wrong, but at this point it does not matter because in my head that's what it is. So like if I totally mess the story up and it's not about that at all, it will still be that journey for me.
Yeah.
So, but go check the Allie's Use Crafty video if you want to hear the real story, because I could be totally misremembering it.
Well, that sounds familiar. So you've probably told me that same thing.
I probably told you, but that doesn't mean that I was, So check that video out before you purchase this out of print Mirabilia if you also want to do something similar.
Yeah.
But anyway, this one's unopened. So yeah, this was number 1, and I will be ready one day. Probably when Molly's like 3 or 4. When I really feel like, wow, I don't have babies anymore. I can process the trauma of having babies. But right now I still...
And the whole process of having babies.
Well, we still have diapers in our house, so I'm not ready yet. But we will at some point be ready. So that is...
Beautiful.
Oh, I don't know if I said this is Damask Roses. And she's beautiful. And you don't need to stitch her with that in mind. It's just, that is what she has come to symbolize for me. And I no longer know if that's accurate, and I don't really care anymore.
Not an issue.
I think it's accurate-ish, but like I haven't watched that video in over a year, and I bought it over a year ago, so I could be totally misremembering it.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Okay.
This is the Rose of Sharon. I think this is one from Lilani.
I know. This one was just stitched, I think it was just stitched by Globetrotting Stitcher.
Oh.
And she's currently stitching it. I can't remember.
Because she stitches pretty monogamously.
She has categories where she has one that she stitches in each category.
This is a 1994. This is also out of print. This is one that we bought in that bundle with Lady of the Flag and stuff for a gift price, basically. But she's beautiful. She doesn't go for that much right now. Like, when I say not that much, between $30 and $50, depending on like how lucky you get and stuff, is kind of typical. Okay, I don't know if I've ever shown you this one. This is Rose Celebration. This is MD25.
Really?
This is
I've never seen
this
that.
is also out of print. I think this is one where I just saw it for like a really good, like I knew what its going rate was, and I saw it for like half that on eBay, like at the end of the thing, and I just impulse bought it.
Yeah.
Because I never like had a plan to start it, but I really like it. And she's like less than 10 inches wide, but she's pretty. She's 24 inches tall.
She's a tall girl.
If you do it on 32 count.
She's
On
really
32,
pretty.
she's 9 1/3 by 24.
Wow.
So I really like her. She reminds me a lot of the old, like the Dreamer and the Kiss, that style, but I like her better than those specific ones.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is in print, but this is the oldest Mirabilia still in print, which is why I bought her, because I really like her. Crafting Whip It is currently working on her. It is in the bottom of the dress and is beading as she goes, and will finish her this year. And when she finishes this year, this is Winter Queen, and she is the only of the seasonal queens in print still. So if you like her, go get her. She's MD13. But Crafting Whip It has finished all, that will be her last of the 4 seasonal queens.
That's awesome.
And Janet Jabber has also stitched all 4 seasonal queens.
Oh, the queens are beautiful.
So, and actually, just to prove that I don't only like out-of-print Mirabilias, or don't like out-of-print Mirabilias more than in-print ones, I have had times where I like have seen the other seasonal queens at like really good deals for what they go for, because the other 3 are out of print and they go for various prices. But I don't like them. Even though I'm a summer birthday, I don't really like Summer Queen. I only like Winter Queen, and she is the one that's in print. But I did grab her because I have fears about her going down to print.
Yeah.
All right. This is out of print. This is Sleeping Beauty. This is MD5.
Oh, she's pretty.
Someday when I finish Cinderella,
Yeah.
and I need another princess birthday start, she'll be waiting for me.
Aww.
If you like this style, first of all, she's huge. She's 240 by 260 on a 32 count. That's 15 by 16 and a bit. And a lot of stitching in there. If you really like her style and the pose and stuff, and don't want to just do people that are standing straight up, Muka, which the Hugo Stitcher is stitching, has a similar interesting pose. And someone else I watched recently was stitching Muka and also talked about that they liked that it was a more dynamic pose, but I don't remember who it was. But Sleeping Beauty. Fortunately out of print. But Cinderella's in print, so if you like Cinderella or you like Winter Queen, grab them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jen's from Jen's 5 is stitching this, and I said, you know, you can pull that out for Allison's Princess Birthday Sal.
I've never seen that.
Because this is The Scent of Old Roses. She is in print. She's not out of print. This is MD54. But in her backstory, she is a princess.
Aww.
And if you don't know, on the back of all the patterns, they give a like backstory of what's going on in the situation. And her said, there's a princess, we are told, of indescribable wealth, who is fascinated by the mixing of garden scents. A touch of lavender for sleep, she muses here an ornate gown and stole with whisper. Rosemary, that's for remembrance. Rumor has it that she has captured her favorite scent, that of old English roses, and a rose amethyst vial to carry with her wherever she goes. While you stitch, consider the effect of fragrances in your life and resolve to surround yourself with those that bring you happiness.
Wow.
I really love her. I will stitch her one day. Maybe I'll stitch her for your birthday, Sal, one year in like 10 years, whenever Cinderella's done.
And Cinderella makes it.
So this next one was a gift. I bought something else out of print. Can't remember what. And the person who sent that also sent this. This is Sabrina. This is a very marked up copy of Sabrina, but not so marked up that you couldn't stitch it. So I've never been really drawn to stitch Sabrina, but I do like her. I've seen so many beautiful conversions on her. So I'm definitely going to keep her, but she's in print. So if you like her, you could go grab her.
I don't think I could stitch that much white.
It's a lot of white.
It's a lot of white.
Is this one Stitching Mommy is stitching? No. She's stitching a seated one, but it's not this one.
Yeah.
But
she's so beautiful. Like,
who did this one come from? Oh, yeah, she's gorgeous. And a lot of the conversions to make the dress not white are also really beautiful. But doesn't she give, All I Want Is a Room Somewhere. Lady. Our Fair Lady. My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady? Oh, yeah.
Like when she goes to the horse races in the black and white dress. That was a really long way to get to My Fair Lady. Yeah.
But you know what? I think if there's a different color to even, instead of black, if you just made it like the pinks.
I think she's really pretty.
Beautiful too.
I have other things I need to stitch on first, so she might end up being a giveaway at some point because I have a lot of things to stitch. But yeah, as of right now, I don't know. Oh, I organized these so they're kind of thematic. Like, so right now we're going through the fancy ladies. Yeah. All right, now these 3 fancy ladies were all gifted to us by Tess, and they arrived 2 days ago. So you haven't seen these yet.
I haven't seen them. Okay.
And she had told us that, so Tess, Tess Lynn, she has like she started a Flosstube as a separate channel and then decided she didn't want to do it. So she folded into her Flosstube into her like budget and just general creative channel, and I'll link her below. And she does a lot of like cash envelope stuff that I really need to pay attention to.
Yes.
But she she bought a lot of Mirabilias, and she, I think, has come to the realization which one she wants to really work on and which ones she likes but didn't want to stitch. So she sent us a box of patterns, and there are other things in it that I'll show in our next Flosstube as Stitchy Kindness, but I was going to leave 3 of our stash out. So these are actually for both of us. So if one of these is one you really want.
Okay.
Okay, so this is...
I've seen that one. She's so
Lady
beautiful.
of Mystery. She's really beautiful. She also reminds me a lot of you. Like that hair.
Yeah.
This one is great. This is Lavender Mist. These
never
are all
seen
in
that
print.
one.
These are not out of print. If you like any of them, you can go grab them.
She is awesome.
She's gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, look at those colors.
She actually is giving me Princess Eliana without having to do the entire dress. Yeah.
That is amazing. I really like that one.
And this is Roses of Provence, and I think Stitch and Mommy is stitching her.
Oh, she's pretty.
She, I think, is like, if you really liked Rose of Sharon, but you didn't want to buy an out of print one, this would be a really good. I think they're very similar.
She's gorgeous.
So Tess, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think this one has got to get stitched up pretty soon.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty soon in Mirabilia terms. She's gorgeous.
She's really pretty. I've never seen that one.
We have exited the fancy ladies, and we're moving on to my stash of fairies. I have 2 fairy whips, Adia the Garden Fairy and Fairy Flora. I cannot emphasize enough how not a sparkle, princess, Disney, fairy, or mermaid person I have ever been in my entire life, nor am I now, except in cross stitch. And even then, not so much like the sparkle as more of like the detail. So the fact that I own 6 fairy patterns, many of which are out of print, is totally insane and not really my personality at all, but it's just a nice way of saying like cross stitch lets you escape into worlds you don't really want to live in every day. You just get to escape and enjoy it and have fun. It's fantasy.
It reminds, I mean, she even says some of them are Shakespeare's fairies.
Well, I don't even own
Shakespeare.
I don't own Shakespeare's fairies.
You should.
I own 2 that are inspired by Shakespeare, but I don't. I would like to get Shakespeare's fairies.
Yeah.
I was
that connection is so you.
Well, I was talking to Jen from Jen's Fiber Web about Shakespeare's fairies because she really wants to start it, and it's gorgeous,
really pretty.
And I would like actually have the perfect fabric for it because it would go so good on vintage pair too.
Yeah.
And I have
yeah.
So I'm like, but I don't even own that one. I just keep
you
buying
should own
fairies.
that one.
So, and the 2 that I have going are both out of print. And then, so I'll do this. I'll show my out of print and then my imprints. Okay. So this is Mirabilia number 2, I think. I think it's MV2. Damask Roses and this one are 1 and 2. I don't know what order they're in because they're not even labeled. This is 1. It may be, it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. I think it's number 2. This is Fairy Moon. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her dress. Look at that dress. Now, I bought, when I showed in that thrifting video, I showed the spring Angel by Lavender and Lace that I bought. And in that dress, I could see this dress. Like, it's like, okay. Like, I could see how Nora learned from her mom about, like,
the folding, the shadows.
And also, like, the cutouts and the way that, like, I love this. This needs a fat half to start, which is why I've never impulse started her.
Oh, she's big, huh?
But I think she would also look good on vintage country mocha. I think she would look good on a very... I like how plain the background is. I like the styling of the very plainness with her dress and stuff.
You're gonna hate doing those little tiny confetti stitches, but it will be worth it.
I may also drop some of the confetti stitches or swap them for beads if I like beads better. We'll see.
Yeah.
So that is Fairy Moon.
She's pretty.
She goes for anywhere between like $60 to $100 on eBay. You can get deals. I've definitely seen her listed for less. I've seen her listed for, I think 100 is outrageous for her in terms of like what's normal. But so she's out of print. She's expensive, but she's not Lady of the Flag. Okay. This is Cottage Garden Fairy. I love her.
She's really pretty.
I just love her. Again, I don't like fairies. Love her. I will definitely do her. She goes for right now between like 25 and 45, depending. You'll always see things listed for more. If you watch the auctions, you can sometimes get her for less. I think I got her for 30 before taxes and shipping. I got it, or 28. I got it where I was like, I felt like I was like, got a little bit of a deal, but not like a lot of a deal. But I love her. And the only reason I'm not starting her is, again, I have 2 fairy whips. I don't know who I am. Okay. Now, this one...
You have 2 fairy whips. You have a princess whip.
Well, the princess whips are your fault.
Well, you're welcome.
I can blame you on that. Okay, this is a Midsummer Night's Fairy. She's in print. This is MD30, but she is still in print. So if you like her, go get her, because MD30 again.
So pretty.
This was we gave away a copy of her, because we got a copy from Leilani and I already had her, and it was like one of our most entered giveaways. But she's in print, so I know a lot of you out there want her. Go get her.
Mm-hmm.
She's so pretty.
Really pretty.
And I have Titania somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have her here. Okay, so apparently I have 24 other ones. I have Titania somewhere. I don't know where she is. This is 3 for T. This was also from Leilani. I did give her away, and then the person who won her didn't claim her, and then I said, I think I want her. I think I might be a fairy person, and I might keep her.
Yeah.
But I did try to give her away. She's MD37, so if you really love her, go buy her. Them. Lovely enchanted beings who haven't forgotten the importance of quiet reflection and gentle conversation that comes with taking tea. They're cute. Okay, so that's the fairies.
Okay. It's a lot of fairies.
Any of them where you're like, I have to start these now?
I do not have a fairy itch at the moment. I don't think I've ever had the fairy itch, but they're beautiful.
Oh, they're so beautiful. Okay. Now, this is the first mermaid I bought. I have showed a picture of her on Instagram. Sometimes people will list her as out of print. She's not. This is Emerald Mermaid.
Oh,
Amy from Amy's Fiberweb finished her. Or Amy's Fiberweb. Amy's Fiber Arts Amy.
There you go.
Finished her. She's stunning. I love her. I want to do her.
Mermaid.
Look at all the detail on the...
Yeah. On her bodice.
I don't like mermaids. And now I'm like buying mermaid mugs on vacation and stuff. Like,
I saw that. So
what
cute.
is this?
Oh, I love that.
Like, I want to stitch the letters for Mermaid M for my daughter. Like, and I'm, again, not a mermaid person. But it's nice to escape into it for like a few, just escape into it and then come back to real life and watch, Fargo or whatever.
I was going to say Fargo.
Okay, then this next one. Okay, so these last 2 are ones that came from Leilani in that bundle. So you've seen them recently, but you don't remember. This is Deepest Love.
Ooh, I don't remember. She's pretty.
She's out of print. These last 2 are out of print.
Aww.
And that's MD42. She's out of print.
Oh, I do remember now.
This is the one you want to do,
yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a lot of people want to do this one because she's so blingy. This is Mermaid of the Pearls. Look at all those beads. I also would just be in heaven. Look at that, just like it's
cascading,
and it's not that many different beads. It's just a lot of them.
It's just beautiful, abundant.
She's very popular as far as out of print Mirabilias go. She's MD26.
Yes, I will be stitching her as my next Mirabilia as of now.
Oh, you want? I don't think I have a
no, but I'm not. I have no plans to start her.
But you just.
But the next time I have I have a spot for a large project.
Okay, then you just be like, Stephanie, bring it over.
Then I'll be like,
at 2 a.m. Why don't you get her scanned and then you don't have to wait? Because I'm not stitching her. You'll know.
Because I have no need to. I have no plans.
Okay.
This year to start because I'm pretty sure. Celtic Christmas. Is that what it's called?
Celtic Christmas.
Is that what it's called?
Well, if you're talking, the word Celtic is used for the Boston Celtics, and everywhere else it's a hard K. It's very confusing. My guess is it's technically Celtic Christmas.
Celtic Christmas?
Yes.
Okay. Celtic Christmas is my next one, and I'm pretty sure that's going to take me a while. So,
well, not as
long as some
Mirror
people,
May.
but yes.
Mirror May.
Yeah, Mirror May would be
okay.
a good shoot for, yeah.
All right. The next are my holiday and winter. So this is Royal Holiday. Tess is actually starting her this year, and she really wants people to start it with her, but I'm like, I can't. I've been waiting to start Christmas Elegance, and I haven't decided on my final fabric for her because I saw somebody do a conversion of her on gingerbread that was really good, but you do have to do a conversion, and I don't know if I want to do that. She's gorgeous. So I'm going to do Christmas Elegance, and then at some point I will switch to her. Now, her name is Royal Holiday, but in parentheses, Christmas Queen, a Christmas Queen. So
she's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. So I don't know when, but she will. Now, she's in print. He is in print. That's right, I said he. Nora Corbett Santa. I love the seasonal couriers, but I like this more.
Yeah.
Lisa from Crossed by Floss. No, Lost in Floss. There's two. Lisa is Crossed by Floss.
No, I think that's backwards.
Okay. Well, I'll tag. She is, I think Lost in Floss is the woman who does all the blackbirds and has the beautiful, like, curated, finished.
Are you sure?
I think so, but I'm not 100%. I'll tag Lisa.
Okay.
Lisa is working on him. She's up in the green because he is full coverage. So he is another one. If you wanted to do it on a counted, gridded Ada, you could get away with it.
Yeah. I know it go faster.
Now, Helen D is working on her, and I really hope she brings her out this winter, but we don't know.
So pretty.
This is Snow Queen. Now, she's winter, but not Christmas. I have the perfect fabric for her. And, so I could get away with starting her in the winter and stitching her but
up to February.
I'm
March.
not ready. She's gigantic. So
how big?
294 by 243.
Oh yeah, she's gigantic.
Because you're not just stitching her, you're also stitching an entire reindeer.
I love it.
But she's marvelous, and if Helen brings her out this year, we will be so lucky because Helen's whip looks so good. I think she's stitching her on a Lugana. I have a 28 count fiber Oak Crown Studios fabric that is blue with purples that will be perfect for her that I'm going to set aside. And she will fit on a fat quarter because she's on 32. She's 18 by 15. Oh, she's not going to fit on a fat quarter. I'm not starting her anytime soon anyway. So
let's not do that, but yeah.
Okay. Now, I have two more categories to show you.
This is crazy.
The next one is old style. I don't have a way to explain it. And this one doesn't actually have a picture. This is Ring Around the Rose Tree. I'll flash a picture up here. But when I show Gathering Eggs, it's in the similar style. It's like little girls around a rose tree. I like the little children.
I think I've seen that.
Why am I showing you guys nothing?
Nothing there.
It looks like this.
Okay.
I love them. I have no plans to start her, but I just love them. That's one where like people think it's out of print. It's not. And I bought it thinking it was out of print, but for less than the price of an in-print mirror. Oh. So I did save money, but I saved like $1. But I thought it was out of print, and it's not out of print. There's one that's very similar that's out of print, but it's not her. Now, the last of this old style is Gathering Eggs. Now, this was also released as a full mirror pattern, and the pattern in the booklet has like a really high price variation, and then but it's also in this magazine, and it has a weird price variation. I paid, I think, $14 with taxes and shipping, so less than a full Mirabilia, like for some of them. But I've seen it go anywhere from like 10 to 35 or 45. The pricing for this one does not make sense to me. So when I saw one that felt fair, I just grabbed it because I really liked her.
Yeah.
I think Dina from Half Stitch Cross Stitch finished her, but I love her.
And this is the one we saw this year.
That didn't win Easter, so Maybe the
No,
person
but it was there.
I don't remember. I didn't have a picture of it because the thing that won Easter was like eggs. So I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was there. Because I remember thinking, Stephanie has that.
I love her. I love her so much.
She's really cute. Yeah.
So that's the only one I have that's magazine form. I don't know how many mirrors were ever in magazines. So, okay, now my conundrum. I think this is counterfeit, but I don't know.
If it's counterfeit, that's too bad because, oh my god.
So this is Villa Mirabilia. Stitching Mommy is definitely stitching her.
Oh
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I got her for a price that I thought was a really good price, but not an insanely good price for what she normally goes for. But it arrived, and also the seller was in Oklahoma. So I was like, oh, it's a good price, but the person's from Oklahoma. So Oklahomans, we don't always push our prices like as high as you can get. Like that Facebook Marketplace haul I got was like so generous. Like she knew she had more valuable stuff, but she just didn't want it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's from Oklahoma. It won't be fake. But like it could be somebody in Oklahoma who bought something that was fake and didn't realize it. I don't know.
But it looks like it's from a kit. So if this is the kit version.
But I just have no idea.
And we've been told that she did kits.
Yeah, so, but I don't know what those kits look like.
No
Now, the
idea.
materials look so different where it does not look like somebody just took the real chart and copied it.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I need my mirror experts out there.
Where's the pattern? Does it look like the other one?
So, here's the materials list.
But it totally looks copied from...
But it doesn't look... It looks like maybe it was copied from another kit, but it does not look like it was copied from the chart. No, it doesn't look like that. But then, yeah, this is like huge.
Okay, that tracks. Her other ones are huge.
I don't know. So I have not started her because I'm just very like not into stitching like a
Stolen property.
a stolen one. And I will be sad, but will not.
You'll find her somewhere else.
Feel totally terrible if
Yeah.
and also I have a lot of other ones. Maybe I wouldn't even ever get to her. Like,
Yeah.
who knows? It's a big dress.
But good grief, is she beautiful?
So I don't know if I own a Villa Mirabilia or not. And I need people who, because there were some ones sold in kits. And actually, Ali Z has told the story of another one that she bought that was in a kit that like seemed similar, seemed fake, but she didn't know. I don't know if this was fake or not. So can you tell me if you're like a mirror expert and you know what the kits looked like when they were sold?
What year is that?
This is MD39.
So mid 2000s?
What's
Or
the lady?
mid 20.
I don't know. Oh, it probably has a copyright on here. It doesn't say.
There's no copyright information? That's not good.
Well, I don't want to pull up the whole chart,
Okay.
and I don't know where it is on there. Yeah. So I don't know. Just if you know if this is for sure fake or it could possibly be real, would you just tell me?
Yeah.
And then I'll know. And if it is fake, I'll record myself burning it and I'll put it on YouTube, and it'll be hilarious and sad at the same time.
What we do for real art.
Okay.
That's funny.
All right. And that's my stash.
I
Now,
love your stash.
I have some like Krynics and things for some of them, but not for many of them. And any like material that I have that's like I bought last year, I showed when I showed the patterns in my Nora November plans video last year. I showed the Krynics and the floss and stuff. So if I have it, I didn't bring that stuff, but I brought. That's my.
Well, I know which one I'm borrowing next.
Yeah. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed this video.
I think it's probably a long one. I said an hour at the beginning.
Oh, it's gotta
way
be
wrong.
I bet it's 90 minutes after we edit out.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
We're gonna eat cheesecake because Allison made me a cheesecake. She said, "What kind of cheesecake do you want?" Because my life is lifing, and so she said, "Do you want me to make you a cheesecake?" And I said, "Yes." No, she said, "What do you want me to
I said
make
I'll
you?"
make you anything.
Any dessert you want. What do you want me to make? And I said, cheesecake, because our family is a cheesecake
We
family.
love
Like we
cheesecake.
always do cheesecakes for birthdays and stuff. And she said, "Well, what kind?" And I said, "Well, turtle or strawberry, like whichever." She made half turtle, half strawberry. So I'm about to go down 2 pieces of cheesecake.
Yeah.
Or wait, no. Should I cut 1 piece of cheesecake?
No, you should not. You should not do that. Those flavors are not going to go together.
So That's what I'll be doing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go. If you made it to this point in the video, leave a mermaid, fairy, or any fancy lady emoji that you prefer, and that'll be our secret language that you made it to the end of the video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to watch all of this craziness in November unfold. If you know if that's fake, please tell me.
And if you know of a reason I shouldn't start a lavender and lace in November, tell me.
We need your help.
We need it.
Okay. And also, if it's fake, I will record myself burning it for fun. Okay.
I would love that.
It'll be fun. I want to burn something anyway, so if it's fake, I'll just take it as a sign.
Yeah.
All right. We love you guys so much. We'll see you on the next video. Please subscribe.
Okay.
Bye. Hello. So I just finished one of my 2 slices of delicious cheesecake. I finished the turtle slice. I'm about to get into the strawberry one, and I remembered I wanted to recommend Catherine the Needleberry Stitcher's video where she recorded the Nora Corbett interview, the Q&A that they did at the Queen City Stitch Retreat last summer. When I was talking about the Queen City Stitch Retreat, I totally forgot to recommend that video. It's really good if you want to like see Nora Corbett and hear how she talks about her art and her process and everything. Go check out that video. I will link to that below. And you should also just follow Catherine the Needleberry Stitcher and watch everything she does because her stuff is so great. But also she's a obviously big Nora Stitcher and Mirabilia Stitcher, and they're all good. All right.